When you decided this was going to be a cheating song, at what point in the process?
Well, it's interesting. When Brandy and I were writing it, it started with a conversation that we'd had in general, and in the conversation she had said about something else. She said, "You can't unring a bell," and I said, "Huh, okay." That just resonated with me, and I've kind of marinated on that a little bit, and later on, and was thinking about it, like, you know what, you can't know something is really where it came from. And that's in the chorus. You know, I can't unknow this, Lord, I wish I knew how. It's like once you know something and have information, you got to deal with it, but you can't pretend as if it never happened.
Right.
You might get old and forget it, maybe, if you're lucky, but you can't unknow it. And that then started this whole idea of unknowing, unloving, what can it be? And so I sat down with a guitar and did the chorus, and then reached out to her and said, okay, I think we got something. Let's write the rest of it. So then we sat down together and fashioned, the rest of the story.
That's cool. I like how it unfolds.
Yeah.
Do you think there's any of us that haven't cheated? In some sense of the word, you know.
I mean, people love to sit on a high horse, and it makes them feel better when they can say that they haven't ever been in any compromising situation. But where do you draw the line to? Right. You know, is it something in thought? Is it in action? God forbid now, is it something on a device you hold in your hand? What's real and what's not? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? What is betrayal and what isn't? And also not even that. You know, people want to feel like the physical act of a betrayal or of a cheating is the worst of the worst. And yet, how many times even beyond that do we betray ourselves and betray each other by not being truthful, not being our best selves, not holding each other accountable, whatever it can be. So the concept of betrayal, we take it that far in music or in arts or in acting because we're dramatic, and that feels like the farthest that we can go. Yeah. But the reality is, in life there are so many betrayals that we do to ourselves and to people that we love. Yeah.
Do you think songs like this, for that reason, make people uncomfortable or make them feel better?
Depends on the person. I think if we are open and we are honest with ourselves and we are compassionate people, I think it makes them feel better. I think it makes us feel better about ourselves, just to know that brokenness or making a poor decision, whatever it may be, that we're not alone in that, and that in making those hard decisions or those poor decisions, there is pain involved, and not feeling alone and feeling connected to those parts of ourselves and to each other is important. For those people, it makes them feel good. I think there are people who are too afraid to ask questions, who are too afraid to even go there, and it probably provokes them in a way that is uncomfortable, and that's okay too. Yeah. Because if they don't go there and they don't ask questions, they need the nudging anyway.
Yeah. Well, I think there's such comfort in forgiveness.
Absolutely.
Forgiving yourself, as long as there's a reason to forgive.
Yeah.
You know.
And the older I get, the more I realize too, man, life is messy. Life is messy. I used to think, whenever I was younger, something was bad or good. It was one or the other. And if you wanted to change something about your life because it was bad, then you went over here and that was good. And that meant that you were leaving a bad situation, whatever it was. The older I get, it's not like that. The older I get, I realize that we hold two things in our hands that could have equal value. And we just have to have the guts enough and the courage enough to live the life that we want to create for ourselves. And sometimes that isn't a bad versus good. There can be bad and good in both. Yeah.
No, there is. I think it's that way for all of us. It depends on how you want to run the race.
Absolutely,
and
babe.
I think about it all the time. I'm probably, my greatest influence would be my grandparents, and it's the glue that ties me to things that even sometimes when I go, I don't have to do this, I don't have to put up with this, I don't have to go through with this, I can run over here and whatever. And I always go back to there's something good on the other side of
something hard,
sticking this out and whatever. And I'm not saying everything's worth grinding to the bone and everything's right. But the things that were soundly right with them have proven true for me. And the times that I've fought battles that I would rather have walked away from and come out on the other side. You know, when the smoke cleared, I went, yep, they were right again. You know, and I think then as you find your rules to live by, you become more confident.
For sure.
In those rules and the things that you do hold close to and that you do stick by, and it makes life a little more comfortable.
Yeah,
even
and
though
it also,
you're right, it is messy.
It is messy, though. Sometimes I think in those rules and in those structures that are around us, some people look at them. Some parts of that feel like prison. And regardless of what we're talking about, I mean, we could talk about a relationship, we could be talking about it. It doesn't matter. Whatever the rules are that you've set for yourself of how to live your life. Some people look at those rules like a prison, and then there's also some freedom in just knowing where the walls are.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Because then you go, okay, well, within these walls, I can color and do everything that I want.
Absolutely.
Within them. Depends.
You have a child now. I mean, kids. I think the worst prison you can put them in is no restrictions. I mean,
sure. They need it and they want it.
Well, it's so comfortable for them.
Yeah, it's safe.
They want some boundaries, just like you're talking about. And
Absolutely.
I think parents that give their kids too much freedom, their kids don't know what to do with it. So they're confused and they're scared.
They're not ready.
Yeah.
I know.
That's it. And not that if you're a parent, then you've made mistakes raising your kids.
Listen, let me tell you what I say. Being a mom, being a parent is a daily confrontation with failure. Daily. Every day there is something that I feel like, all right, well, I didn't do that perfectly or the best that I could, but then I realized there is no perfect. I think the best thing for a parent is that your child knows that he is loved and safe, and beyond that, we're all just doing our best.
What's your kid done that you went, man, I did something right?
Well, you know what? He's only 3. So it's still a little bit too young for certain kinds of lessons to be able to be applied. But he's so sweet, and I can't take any credit for that, though. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't. I mean, that's just. I don't think so. I think that's in spite of me. I mean, I'm a very loving and affectionate person, and I am definitely that as a mom. So any of his sweetness that he offers me back, I do get a smile to know, like, okay, you know, like he is loving the way that he has been loved, and that makes me feel good. Yeah, for sure.
That's the end of the day right there. I was asking, Trace was telling me when his daughter was 3 years old, I said, so what does 3 mean? She goes, well, you know, it's kind of like when they get smarter than the dog. He said, you know, when they were 2 and they'd go over there with a paper clip and gonna stick it in the electric socket, and the dog would run over there and go, I wouldn't do that if I licked that thing one time, knocked me all the way across the room. But now, you know, the dog will try and put his paws up on the stove, and the kid will kind of go over there and push him down, you know, kind of smarter than the dog.
Yeah, no, that's a nice benchmark, Trace, for us all to aspire to for our children.
That's kind of 3 in a nutshell.
Yeah, it's a 3. Although I'd also call him a 3-nager.
3-nager.
Because you can go from perfectly everything's fine to something is one of his little figurines or his animals, you know, have been moved the slightest bit out of the way than he put it, and it is falling the floor drama, highest Shakespearean. I mean, like, woe is me. It's amazing from zero to drama that it can go to.
So you're kind of talking about kids makes me think you're kind of the queen of Christmas now. You've been hosting the show, and you do such a good job. You've had amazing duets on there.
Thank you.
That music really suits your voice. I can tell you love singing it. You're a great host. What about your 3-year-old at Christmas this year? How'd that go?
This was the first year. Now, he just turned 3 December 6th, so he had just turned 3. So this was the first year, though, like last year being, as Trace would say, dumber than a dog, there was no connection at all. This year, he doesn't quite, he knows, he says, okay, he understands that there is a Santa Claus, and he really, really likes presents. Now, the whole narrative of that Santa Claus brings the presents and how he does it and with the reindeer, nothing. I mean, there's no connection there yet. But he loved waking up and getting to open all the presents, and that was a treat for him. So, and exciting to see.
What was his favorite thing?
His favorite thing was actually this, first of all, he loves skeletons, robots, dinosaurs, astronauts,
Awesome.
okay, all of those things, and animals. So his favorite thing though this year was this, like, it was like I don't know if I'd call it a spaceship, but it was like a spaceship, rocket ship sort of center where you can just set up. He's still of the age that he likes to set up little figurines in places. So you can set your astronaut over here, and over here you've got a robot, and you can move him around up and down the elevator, and he will sit and play with that thing forever and just move things around, elevator up and down. So that, I think, was his favorite, even though we got him a dang on Power Wheels, okay? And I have video of it, and it's precious, but he could care less. I mean, he did it for 5 seconds, and then he was like, yeah, no, where's the spaceship? So yeah.
He's probably a writer. He's got stuff going through his head, He's got all kind of scenes.
All
Did
lands
you do that
and
when you were a
worlds,
kid?
and yes, creating different scenes for
And
sure.
for us, for my age kids, it was all about Army men, But we, just setting up and creating that whole scenario and all that stuff.
He also does something interesting. Maybe he's going to be a movie director. I don't know, because he does what I call storyboards, and we joke and say that that he commissions art, because he will come up to you and say, "Draw astronaut, draw skeleton." He wants you to draw him all these different things, and he'll have you draw it, and then he'll lay it out, on the ottoman or on the table or on the floor exactly how he wants it.
Oh, cool.
It's so interesting
That
to
is
know how
cool.
their little minds work. What is he thinking in there?
Yeah.
So
It's
neat.
fun stuff. Isn't
It's
it?
fun. It's
I got
super
this
fun.
ring you gave me. You remember what it
Yes,
says?
I do. Does it say the best song is yet to be written? The sweetest song is yet to be written.
Have yet to be sung.
Has yet to be
The best
sung.
is yet to be written.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's really means
I
a
love
lot
that
to
you
me. I
still
wear it
have
around my
that.
neck most of the time, and sometimes. But
Thank
it
you.
reminds me that, for those of us who like to write songs, that's always in the back of your mind. Okay, I got to get to work. It
Always.
never leaves you alone. It's like some exam I haven't studied for.
It's like, you know what it is like? It is like Moby Dick and Ishmael, you know what I'm saying, in that book, where it's like he is upset. He's always out there.
Yeah.
You're always trying to get that best one, always. And when you write one and and you feel like, oh my God, I really got one, you can immediately go ahead and panic, because then you think, am I ever going to write one that good again? I'm never going to write one that good again.
That's what drives us. Well, you're a sweet gift giver. What's the coolest thing a physical thing that somebody's ever given you?
Physical thing that somebody's. Well, for my birthday, can I say for my 40th birthday? Woo! My husband got me
Means nothing
an
anymore.
old refurbished. I know. I don't even relate to it. The numbers, like sometimes I have to also remind myself how old I am, but I forget. Okay, it's gotten to that
Because
age.
I still act like a third grader
Me too. I'm perpetually somewhere much younger than where I am right now. That is
And
for
you
sure.
will be.
Yes, which is good. Thank God. May that be true. I'm going to knock on wood for that.
I think our
Speak the
business
truth.
really helps with that, too.
I do too.
Yeah.
I do too. And I think being a creative person, just, as a writer, I think that really helps too. But he got me a beautiful old Steinway, a refurbished Steinway, medium grand, not a baby and not a grand, but a medium grand, yeah. And I love it. It's
Sounds
beautiful.
good. Got songs in it.
Yeah, it's got songs in it.
You gotten to sing with some pretty heady rock and pop stars along the way.
So crazy, all those collaborations.
What was that one moment where you went, holy jeez, I can't believe I'm standing here doing this?
You know what? I did, and I have had the pleasure and the honor of doing so many, you are right, that I could name and just be really, I feel blessed and lucky for all of them. But I think for me, a big moment, and one of those moments, I'm a huge James Taylor fan. I grew up loving his music, and as a songwriter, he is one of the tops for me. And I got to perform with him and John Legend on James Taylor's song "Shower the People." We did it for Obama's first inauguration, and that was such a big deal in our country. And I walked out, and there were 400,000 people on the mall. Wow. It just stretched as far as I could see. And getting to sing that song, "Shower the People," with James, I was blown away.
Yeah.
I was blown away by that moment. Yeah,
That's cool.
still am. It's a cool one.
Yeah, we did our last 2 weeks, Ronnie and I did with Merle Haggard. and every night we go out and sing with him. And he would always,
Amazing.
in his cloud of smoke, come up with some song that it was never Silver Wings or anything.
Oh, it's something
it was always
a deep
like
cut.
a deep cut an hour before the show. No matter how big a fan you are, let's see if you know this
That's
one.
right. I love it.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Yeah.
Really cool. Well, congrats on your new record. It sounds great. It's going to
Thank
do
you.
great. I'm so glad we got to catch up and visit
Me
a little
too.
bit.
Yeah.
I miss seeing
the
you,
cud.
but yeah, keep up
Thank
the
you.
good
You
work.
all, I love that you wear that ring. Y'all got for me a beautiful Cartier watch.
We did?
Yes, you did,
Must have
darling.
been expensive. Who bought those?
I know you did.
All right,
You
heads
did.
over heels. Cartier. Are you sure it was a Cartier?
I am sure, babe. And I look at it often and think it's about time.
Love you. Thanks so much.
Thanks.
All right.